Welcome, hello, Yasu, hi, my name is Ty Kerner, and today's video is about fear and self-created blocks. This is something, fear is the base of most of our blocks we did create in our life. So I thought I'd do a little video about this today. To those who don't know me yet, my name is Ty Kerner. I'm an author, I'm a black magician, I'm a follower of the Draconian path, so the left-hand path. I'm working with the left-hand tantrics, with the Clifford, with the Kabbalah, tarot, runes, and I'm a natural-born empath. So this for a short intro about me, but yeah, fears. What is fears in our everyday life? This is a quite wide topic, so let me limit it a little bit. The different types of fear, basically, you can break down in two. It's archetypical fears. That's fears which come like, like human ages. It's thunder, spiders, snakes, noises in the dark, simply the things unknown, which are rooted in our subconsciousness. And the other one are developed fears. The archetypical fears are something what is rooting in our subconsciousness, so it tracks back through generations, and not just a few, but even to begin of humankind. So it had the benefit to prevent you from being eaten from wild animals, or from eating deadly plants because you saw another sibling dying on, or it was protecting you before weather circumstances like thunder or floods or earthquakes or something like this. So it was basically about survival. Developed fears is something what is far more complicated. It is something what does root back to your family sometimes, but then it is your family, your grandmother, and so on. And it is the fears they developed and they did project onto you. This is, for example, if your mother got some behaviors, let's say for the way he was grown up by your grandmother, she develops some fears, and these fears are projecting in behaviors, and you as a kid got the impact of these behaviors. So you develop the same fears. This can be also about wars that your grandfather or your parents did have to go through. It can be something what is abuse in families, what is given further and further and further from one generation to the next. But this is developed fears which can fall into your life because you are grown up by somebody who did not solve this problem, and probably this one was raised by somebody who had the same problem but did not solve it either, and so it reflects into your life. So the other thing is, if you grew up in a child abuse familyship, you probably did feel not welcome, or you felt a kind of insecurity, and this insecurity can unfold in sicknesses, can unfold in being scared about everything. Also, it can be unfolding in lack of self-confidence or something like this. And all this together, if you grow up and you go older, there are fears you still carry with it from your childhood because you never processed about this. So you did learn to be cautious about your surrounding, about people, and you raise a stepping back one step when somebody is too loud, too fast, too dominant. You step back and you never get out of your shadow to say stop, I don't agree about. So this being cautioned may be a good thing if life is really in danger. But if this being cautioned becomes too dominant, you run into a danger of stagnation. You cage yourself by your own cautious behavior. So this is a developed fear which comes from experienced things in your life, and which just make us stop from doing things. One thing that comes from this embodiment of caution is the wish for of comfort. Comfort is nothing what just happens. It is something we search for, and we do not search for it because we are lazy. We are searching for comfort because if everything is as it is right now, and there is no development on it, and there is no changes within, and everything is stagnating, then no danger can pop in from outside. At least this is the feeling about. The problem is this stagnation also stagnates all your development inside. So by being too cautious and by trying to wrap yourself into comfort, you block yourself from self-development. So you have to make sure to not to stop yourself by trying to find a comfort zone to crawl into and to, let's say, shut down the cave. You have to get out, you have to get into contact, you have to take some little risks, because these risks are what is giving fire to your own evolvement, to your own experiences. And so, okay, if there is a trouble arising or problems arising, it's not a problem. A problem is a challenge to overcome. So this about that point of fears. There is one more fear. This is, I name it social fears. It is fears what come by if you get into trouble with somebody and you hand a slap, he will go to the police and you're registered for being aggressive. Well, okay, let's say in my young ages, it could happen that someone catches a slap and it was just usual. Today, you push somebody on a shoulder and it's like, you did push me on my shoulder. Me. I did not even attack you. So, but it is the laws were pushing down everything what is good on one side to protect the weak ones. But on the other side, people are so scared to get into trouble with law, so they do not even dare to do whatever they plan to, because they could be against the law. And just by thinking about being lawless, they don't do anything. So this is a social fear. The other one is a marketing fear. So if you watch TV, for example, or whatever commercials, and they say you have to do this because if you don't do this will happen and it will cast out all your life across, and your family will have no penny, and so on. This is marketing fears. They try to push and fire fears within people just to sell their stuff. This is a dirty way of doing marketing. But this is something what also anchors in people, and it is especially after Corona, you see it. There are so many people who do disinfection on their hands every day. They are no doctors. That's usual people. So they use disinfections over and over because they are still in fear. It might be that there is a virus and I get sick. Yeah, but the more you use that stuff, the less your physical resistance is. And so, of course, you get everything as soon you just catch some of this bacteria or whatsoever. So it is also, again, a selling thing. First it was a social thing, then it was a selling thing, now it is anchored in people. One also could say propaganda fear. Good, while a propaganda fear is reaching a little deeper, propaganda fear could be, for example, if you say, okay, when the Russians are coming here bombing Ramstein, for example, then every one of you have to protect this airbase because everything around us will be burned to ashes. That would be propaganda. let me say, if it would happen that the war is crashing around and there was some bombing maybe somewhere here, you could not stop it anyways. We got some nuclear craft in France, we got the airbase in about 50 kilometers distance. So guess what I do? I take a clap share, I take a serious beautiful smoke and a beer. Over and out. Why should I run anywhere I could not run from? And I don't need somebody who is pushing any fear into. I would just put up my feet, relax, and so enjoy the last hours you got. So however, and then there are irreal fears. This is a more psychotic thing, when people are, for example, if I wear a pink shirt, it's a bad day to me. So if I wear a pink shirt, I know this day will be crappy and evil, and so I better wear some blue or black or something. Or if somebody is thinking, this is psychology again, if my partner is grumpy with me, he doesn't love me anymore. It's just your feeling about this, but because you feel it, you are harmed. And so you try to prevent to make somebody grumpy because you think this one is not loving you anymore. This is what an irreal fear is. Something what is simply not existing, but only in your mind, in your own perception. The only thing you can do here is talking about. Talk to your partner, talk to your friends if you feel so. So you can clean out that problem, and especially not to prevent the other one to behave in a way he does, but to understand that your sensation of he doesn't love me anymore is not true. Also, the fears altogether have one pattern in common, and this is the behavior you try to prevent it from happening. So when you try to prevent it from happening, you again are stopping yourself. So it might be okay, as for said, for the early ages of humankind, you know somebody did eat that berries and he died, so you will not get there to eat that berries as well. And you also will make sure to not to go hunting all alone, because you know there are animals stronger than you, so it would be stupid to get killed by this enemy just because you don't care. This is okay. So you prevent this from happening by not doing it. But the most fears are nothing about your lively existence. It's just about the social interaction which you fear, and sometimes it is to fear your own personality as well. This is when you get into shadow works. You try to prevent, to really observe yourself, to dig into your subconsciousness, because you might find things within yourself which you cannot handle. And this is nothing what you should block out. If you find something what is potentially deadly for you, it's legal to say, okay, I prevent it from happening. But if it is something what is about your own development, about perceptions around you, you should not walk there with fear. You should walk there with curiosity, with an open heart to understand. And so the first point I want to get a two-parted series about. This is today's first part. So make sure to subscribe the channel if you didn't do yet, so you get a note if the second part is rolling in. I will get back to this later. So as for my perception, most fears are just holding you back from taking action, from growing. And the way how this works on me, for example, is overthinking. So you got an inspiration to do something, and then you reflect about, if I do this, then this can happen, or that can happen, or maybe something else evil may happen just because I dare to do this. And while you are thinking, it's clustering down, and it's walking over hours in thinking why you cannot do this. And this is a typical point of overthinking. So I got something else for you, and this is the part 2 of this video. I will do a little meditation for you, and this meditation I will open tomorrow. So again, make sure to subscribe the channel, and so you get a note when this video is online. I will help you to balance this flute of overthinking if this is your trouble as well. Because, no, I will not be a whistleblower, but I will help you to watch these thoughts, and I will help you to examine where these fears are rooting in, and I will help you to stop this overthinking wave of thoughts about this point, while on the same side digging out the core to understand the fear and to let go the fear. Becoming conscious about your fears and the counter reactions will liberate you, and it will help you to break away these self-created blocks. So this for today, and we meet at next video.